And that's something that, like, you just wouldn't want to have ruined for you to start off Naruto. Be like, Itachi's not actually a bad guy. Don't listen to Sasuke. He's dumb. He doesn't understand the complexities as to which Itachi had to go through and why he decided to massacre his own people. All of it. Let's go. Okay. So this is going to start off with a bit of backstory. I've watched Naruto and Shippuden like 3 times over. You know, just basic Naruto type stuff. The first time was with an old friend, the second time was by myself, and the third was with another friend. And one thing that like prevails over everything has been the whole premise of you don't give spoilers. And sure, under normal circumstances, a lot of people just don't want to have a story ruined for them. Like, as I said in Naruto, you're going to have situations like, obviously, spoiler here, spoiler warning, you know. It's going to be spoilers for, like, let's say, Bleach, Naruto, Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist, yeah. So, well, obviously One Piece as well, yeah, you know. So while watching Naruto, I had to sit there and endure listening to this guy absolutely berate Itachi the entire time. Oh, this guy is such a piece of shit. Oh, he's such a terrible guy. Man, I would fuck him up, everything like that. Week after week, until we finally get up to the part where he realizes Itachi wasn't the bad guy. And then, like, his appreciation of, like, damn, so you knew the whole time and you were just going to let me sit here and think Mans was a piece of shit the whole time? And, like, I'm super proud of myself because I'm very big on, like, non-spoiler things because of that exact situation. And that's something that, like, you just wouldn't want to have ruined for you to start off Naruto. Be like, Itachi's not actually a bad guy. Don't listen to Sasuke. He's dumb. He doesn't understand the complexities as to which Itachi had to go through and why he decided to massacre his own people. All of it. It would just ruin it, okay? And that's like you go on to, again, same friend, great guy, watching Attack on Titan with. Mind you, it was end of season 3, beginning of the first season 4 of 4 season 4s. But the entire time, just having to sit there quietly while he's going through and just like doing all the realizations, like, oh my god, that's what's going on? And like being able to see him like piece together everything to like, because Attack on Titan is absolutely phenomenal. The way that it lays it out in a way that makes it so like every step of the way, they make you feel like, I got it. I got this figured out. I know what's going on. And then that motherfucker just turns it around and just, you don't know nothing. And then proceeds to just drop deep lore on you and you're like, holy shit, I just went into the back rooms here. Like, it's whole next level. And, like, obviously you can't just go in to Attack on Titan knowing about the Jaegerists, because obviously that would just be absolutely ridiculous. I mean, not to think the fact you would even believe that from the very beginning, because, like, I mean, how Attack on Titan starts is just, it's gonna what? You mean he's gonna destroy the whole world? No, you can't just go in there like that. You gotta go in blind. You gotta be just as freaked out as like, oh my god, Eren just got eaten, to realizing like, wait a minute, so Eren's a Titan? Yeah, you know. But there are times that I feel do benefit from spoiler discussion. And what I mean by that is you can have situations that are good and bad. Full Metal Alchemist, bad. You don't want to find out about like Nina and Tucker, everything like that. Granted, it's only a couple episodes in, it's whatever. But you don't want to have that ruined because you want to have that shock and awe, like, oh, oh. But when it comes to Bleach, I feel as if it was better to have it spoiled for me because I watched it all the way through up until the 1,000-Year Blood War arc one time through. Even the filler, everything like that, I'm very adamant about. Like, I'll watch every episode at least once. And then it's like afterwards you go back through and you watch it without the filler. But while going through all of Bleach, it always just seemed like, it always seemed like one ass pull after another, after another, after another. And it wasn't until I watched all of it and then started getting like deep dive videos on it where they're explaining about like, okay, well, you're not really going to understand the depth of Bleach without knowing Bleach. And it's like, well, what could that possibly mean? And it's like, then you go back through after you've seen it and you watch it again. And like I said, my first time through, I didn't find it that enjoyable. I really thought it was mid. And then 1,000-Year Blood War arc was coming out, and it's like, all right, you know what? I'll go back through, begrudgingly watch it without any of the filler. And then, like, going back the second time, it was so much better than the first time. Like, so much better so that I was talking to a coworker, and he was having the same issue I was. He had said, oh, well, I started watching, I don't know, it just seemed like it just couldn't get into it. And I'm like, you know what? I hear you. Go watch a video explaining the lore of like Ichigo and like the whole thing. And then watch it without all the fillers, everything like that. Because you'll actually be able to see step by step the plot threads that they're laying out. Because it's so random, the pieces of information that they put out, that none of it seems correlated until after it's already happened. And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, okay. So even though he had his abilities to be a Soul Reaper taken away from him, he was still able to become a Soul Reaper because there was experiments that tested on Hollows being able to activate their Soul Reaper abilities after becoming a Hollow. And then instead of him being dead and then becoming a Soul Reaper to become a Hollow, he was alive. So he became a Hollow and then a Soul Reaper again. Which then that's what gave him, of course, the mask and everything like that. And that's what actually led him down the whole line of, okay, well, now I have to be able to use both of these powers at once. Once he realizes that, like, okay, well, the white Ichigo inside my head is like, is not a bad guy. It's just me. It's like, I just got to fight myself on it. And it's like, okay, well, then he learns that it's like, it's not about fighting yourself. You got to accept yourself. Like, and you won't fully accept every step of the way unless you already know where it goes. And so, like, the reason why I bring that up is because right after Wano, Oda had made like a very controversial statement about how, like, okay, now you can watch One Piece. Or something along the lines. I'm paraphrasing, of course. And of course, obviously, they're paraphrasing from the translation as well. But along the lines of the fact that from Wano on, you can start off One Piece fresh. And a lot of people are very just like, how is that possible? You have you have 1,000 episodes to go through before you get to this point. How can you say all of that meant nothing to get to here? Until you think about the fact, in my previous video, I had talked about like the pacing and how you get like a chapter every episode. If you look at it in the sense of it being like historical documents of it, so instead of it being like, okay, well, of course we know how Nami has grown to be Nami. And we know how Robin has grown to become Robin and the circumstances as to which she was put through. You're seeing them all together as one family, all like as a solid unit now. And that's fantastic. Like, arguably, I don't think anybody could say that's a bad thing. But to think that you have to go through 1,000 episodes, that's what holds a lot of people out, because they're just like, it's so long, I'll never be able to catch up. Okay, but if you go in with the premise starting from like the beginning of the Egghead arc, you start someone off there, and then they're like, oh, bro, who's this Blackbeard guy fighting this law guy? Yo, those abilities are sick. Well, what's going on with that? What do you mean? Like, Blackbeard has the ability to like stop powers? And like, Law can just like do runes or whatever it is, make up whatever he wants. And so you're just like, okay, well, look it up. Because just like everything else that we have right now in the 21st century is, okay, well, if you don't understand something, look it up. You can find the context for it. And then at that point, if you want to know more about something, you can find out more. And it's not so much of like, okay, well, I have to keep like a strict, keep my blinders on. I'm watching every single episode. I'm here for. And like, you're pushing yourself through it. Like a lot of these people, like I see on TikTok, talk about, oh, I finished it in like 3 months. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? But I'm saying that because I'm caught up. Like, I'm so caught up that I read like mistranslated leaks every week. Which, of course, led me to, I almost made a video that Dory and Brogy weren't actually coming for Luffy, because I saw that they just emphasized, oh, well, we're coming for the sun god. And so I was just like, oh, what if they think Usopp is a sun god because, what's his name? Had held him up as God Usopp. And it's like, okay, well, he is a giant, everything like that. He took that information back to Elbaf, and then they knew. And it's like, you can't have that kind of stuff. But the point being, if you have context to look back on, I feel as if it just makes it so much clearer. Like, to be able to look back and be like, okay, well, why is Robin so tore up about like this Buster Call? Well, she's not actually, it's because she's knocked out, but like this whole Buster Call situation at Egghead, she'd be freaking out because of course it's her third Buster Call. And it's like, oh shit. You find out like Kizaru, okay, wait, why is he acting so like, oh, I don't want to do this to you. Oh, wow, you punks have grown a lot. And it's like, well, why is he saying that? And it's like, okay, you can go back and you can look at Sabaody. And it's like, okay, well, at the Archipelago, he was about to smoke the shit out of him. And then Rayleigh came in, you know, like the Dark King he is, and just like cut that shit out. Like, there are going to be takebacks from it. Like, now people can't, because of the actual advertising that Crunchyroll does for Crunchyroll itself, there's no longer speculation of what Gear 5 could be. Because for the longest time, that's what it was. Speculating, oh, he's going to get full body, hockey, everything like that, kind of like they did over at Punk Hazard. But no, now you get to see on the advertisements, oh, that's Gear 5? Okay, that sucks. Because it was like, that was a lot of fun to be able to speculate on what was actually going to be Gear 5, because it's like, all right, you have like the steamy reddish like Gear 2, then you have the super inflated Gear 3, and then you have Gear 4, which is a combination of both. Then you have Gear 4 that's even further combination of both. And then it's like, oh yeah, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? And you're like, oh, he's, after you seeing tank mode, where it's like he changes where his body's hockeyed up. So you're like, oh yeah, he's gonna be full body all the way. But no, you don't have that anymore. But it's okay to miss a couple of trees because you're in the forest. You're already so deep in lore that it's like you're trying to prevent people from starting fresh because you didn't start fresh. I personally think it would be sick to be able to start One Piece right now. And like, if I knew anyone who was able to start the journey from right now and be able to see how they like question things, where it's like, oh, well, what happened with this? Oh, well, what's up with Luffy's scar? Oh, dude, that fish man is sick. Where'd he come from? And it's like to be able to just look back, oh, okay, well, this is what happened. This is what happened. Instead of just the speculating, like I said. I mean, like, I almost made a full video about them coming for Usopp instead of Luffy because of speculation. Whereas for now, people are going to be able to go back and instead of having to worry about speculating, oh, well, it's because of this, that, or that. No, they can just look back and see the truth. I mean, I think he's cooking. I really think he's cooking. And you know, you just gotta let him cook. That's all it is. You just gotta let him cook. Whether you can accept the fact that people can start watching now and it just absolutely be fire, that doesn't take away from like the emotional impact that it had on you on episode 38. Like, it's not going to take anything away from you. So let him cook. That's all there is to say. Let him cook. Do. I don't have an actual outro screen. Do. I'm kind of new to this. Do. You know, do the YouTube thing. All right, bye.